Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my preview and predictions video for both NXT TakeOver War Games, which is airing tonight live on the WWE Network, and of course the big extravaganza tomorrow, Survivor Series 2017, the 31st edition of the Fall Classic. So without further ado, let's get into my predictions for NXT TakeOver War Games. On paper, this is a very strong card, of course, with the main event featuring the return of the War Games match. It's been over 20 years since we've seen this match. The first time I've ever seen a War Games match. I have to go back on the network and catch up on my history, but from the clips that I've seen and just from the amount of excitement, that's been building towards this event, on paper, this looks like another strong TakeOver card, and I have yet to be disappointed with an NXT TakeOver event. And I think this one will deliver, most certainly. And there are a number of matches looking up and down this card that I am looking forward to. So we'll start with the bottom, and then we'll work our way to the top. We have Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan. Should be a good match. Two guys going in there and just going in there and working a really physical, hard-hitting style. And my pick for who's going to win this, I think it's pretty obvious. It's got to be Lars Sullivan. They're building him up kind of as, the monster of NXT, kind of like their version of Braun Strowman, who's just been dominant and unstoppable. And I think Ohno will give him one hell of a fight. And like I said, I think this will be a hard-hitting affair. But I think in the end, Lars Sullivan will be victorious. We have what has easily been probably the best built match on this card, and that is, of course, Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark. Just the mind games that these two have been playing with one another. Patrick Clark wanting Aleister Black's recognition, wanting his respect, wanting him to say his name, and just the mystique of Aleister Black. And all it takes is one kick to the head, and it could be over just like that. I really enjoyed, like I said, the build between these two. It surprised me. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think I'd be this invested in this feud, but it's probably the most compelling thing going on NXT, and that's to both their credit. They've really taken the material that they're given and made the most of it. I'm hoping Aleister Black wins, and slowly they're building him up to be a contender for the NXT Championship. Down the line, it will happen. He will be an NXT champion. If not now, then definitely later. But should be a good match, like I said, with a very strong build behind it. We then have our two championship matches on this show. We have a fatal four-way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. As we all know, when Asuka went up, she vacated the championship, and therefore we have the winner of the Mae Young Classic, Kairi Sane, taking on Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce. With the amount of talent involved here, this will be an outstanding fatal four-way match. There's a number of different possibilities for how I see this match going. And honestly, I'd be fine with any of these four women winning it. But who I'd like to see personally, I am predicting that Ember Moon will become NXT Women's Champion. That's my prediction. I don't think it's going to go to Kairi Sane. I just think it's just too soon. She just arrived. Like I said, she won the Mae Young Classic. I just don't see that happening. Could be wrong, but it could be Nikki Cross. Sanity has the tag team championship, so why not Nikki Cross win the women's championship? Or Peyton Royce, Her and Billie Kay have been a solid act, like I said. So yeah, but I'm going with Ember Moon. Like I said, she came close to beating Asuka, but she just fell a little bit short. I think this time she'll overcome all the odds and win the NXT Women's Championship. We have our NXT Championship match, which is... this should be a good one. Drew McIntyre defending his championship versus Andrade Cien Almas. I'm really enjoying the pairing of Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. I just think they work so well with one another. Like I said, they're just a good combination, with Almas and, his limited English-speaking skills, and you put somebody with him with a mouthpiece like Zelina Vega, who is very attractive, but she can also be conniving, cunning, and do whatever it takes to, get Almas to where he needs to go. And she's really turned his career around storyline-wise. I mean, before this, he was lacking focus. He was just not putting that much effort into his matches. He was just cocky, arrogant, full of himself. But she was really able to, rein him in, focus him, and get him to that next level. So I love the story that they're telling between those two. But I don't think Drew McIntyre loses the championship here. I think him and Adam Cole, that'll be the next program, probably for NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. But I think these two will put on a hell of a match. Like I said, up and down, there are some strong matches on this show. So this one certainly should be no different. And then finally, we have our NXT main event for this TakeOver special. And it's War Games, returning for the first time after over 20 years. It's been a long time since we've seen a War Games match. And just with the amount of talent in this match alone, we have the Authors of Pain teaming up with Roderick Strong, taking on Sanity, Alexander Wolf, Eric Young, and Killian Dane, and versus the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. And speaking of War Games, I believe the last War Games held was in 2000. So it's been almost 20 years. I wanted to get that right. I believe that was the last time that War Games was held. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, it's something I've been waiting for WWE to go back to for quite a while. You own the name, the licensing, and everything. Why not do it? What the hell? You got to sit in there. It's practically ready for you to use, and I'm happy to see that NXT is doing it. This should be a hell of a match. It goes without saying, considering who's all involved. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on, some crazy spots. I know these guys are going to take it to the limit. But only one team can stand tall. And out of all three of these teams, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to say the Undisputed Era wins, and they get an assist from Roderick Strong, who will turn heel. I know they teased it and then he didn't, but there's history between these guys, and especially with Ring of Honor. And I just think that somehow Roderick Strong will cost his team and help the Undisputed Era win. That's my prediction for the main event. But yeah, tonight, I'm really looking forward to it. I won't be able to review NXT TakeOver War Games. Might talk about it briefly during my Survivor Series video review tomorrow. But yeah, there will not be a live video review. Going to the Penguin Games, so sorry guys. But I will catch it on demand, and I can't wait to watch. And speaking of what I can't wait to watch, how about this Survivor Series 2017 card? From the moment they announced it to where we are now, it's night and day. They completely revamped this card for the better, and this has really potential. This has a lot of potential on paper to be maybe the pay-per-view of the year if everything delivers. And I'm really hoping that happens. I know we've seen this before with the main roster. We go in with high expectations, and then we're kind of let down. But something tells me that this time will be different. I have a feeling that this pay-per-view will deliver, and it should deliver, and set up storylines for the road to the Royal Rumble, and then, of course, the road to WrestleMania. Because we're getting close. Like I said, it'll get us over that hump of December, which is usually a down month, and then things will pick back up when it comes to January. But looking at this card right now, we have a total of 8 matches, and we'll start with the pre-show, because honestly, I'm not watching the pre-show. 4 hours is plenty for me. Plenty. It's plenty of wrestling for me. Enzo Amore versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship. Enzo wins. Moving on. We have our Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, taking on United States Champion Baron Corbin. Out of all the matches on this card, this is the one that I'm least looking forward to. I'm not sure if their styles will mesh well together. I'm not sure what type of match. It could be a good match. Like I said, I like the pot shots that Miz and Baron Corbin have been trading with one another, but just not really a ton of excitement around this match. Who knows? They could prove me wrong. But if I had to go with a winner here, I'm I'm going to go with, it's a toss-up. I'll go with Baron Corbin. Just because. No reason, I'm just Baron Corbin. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown Live. The 5-on-5 Women's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw is made up of Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Versus Team SmackDown, who is made up of Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and recently announced Natalya. And I thought they left that open spot on SmackDown's team. I thought perhaps we'd see a returning Paige. Perhaps we do see Paige return at the pay-per-view and injure somebody on either team, maybe Raw or SmackDown, and take their place. We'll have to see. But Paige, she'll be back soon. The question is when. But I think it goes without saying, Asuka's on this team in this match. So therefore, Team Raw has to win. You're not going to have Asuka lose this early. It wouldn't make any sense. It would be... I mean, they could do it, but it's just like... I wouldn't. You know, you have her stay undefeated at least until WrestleMania, and then you go in whatever direction you want to go with her. But seeing as how she's in this match, I think she will have a standout performance, you know, really just clean house, and I think Team Raw is walking out with the win here. We then have our Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, versus our SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte. Looking forward to this match. Originally, it was Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. Wasn't really too keen on that matchup, but I think Charlotte and Alexa, they'll go out there. They'll have a good match. I don't know if we've ever seen these two compete before. Perhaps on NXT, but it is a fresh matchup. Like I said, this is the match that I wanted to see them do if you're going to do Women's Champion versus Women's Champion. So I'm happy Charlotte won the championship on Tuesday, and now this is the match we're getting. And if I had to go with the winner here, seeing as how Charlotte just won her championship, I could see Charlotte getting the win here. No particular reason. Like I said, it could go either way. Like I said, a lot of these titles aren't, there's no titles. There's only one championship match on this show, and that's the Cruiserweight Championship match, and that's on the pre-show. So, like I said, a lot of these matches could go either way. But I'm going with Charlotte to beat Alexa Bliss. We have a 6-man tag team match. Been waiting for this one for a long time. The Shield versus the New Day. Never seen these 6 guys go at it in a 6-man tag team match. I'm happy they're doing this at the pay-per-view. At first, I was thinking, man, I really wanted to see Ambrose and Rollins versus the Usos. And I would like to see that match. And maybe we'll see it down the line. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But, as a substitute, I'll take it. And I'll enjoy it. This could, be one of the best matches on this card. I have a feeling these two teams are going to go out there and they're going to take it to each other. It's going to be craziness. It's going to be carnage. It's going to be chaos. And it's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun to watch. And as far as the winner goes here, I think the Shield will get their, revenge on the New Day for costing them the tag team championships, like I said. And I think the Shield will walk out victoriously. We have Raw Tag Team Champions versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions. This should be a good one. Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Usos. And now as a substitute replacement for not getting Ambrose and Rollins versus the Usos, I'll take this as well. Like I said, I go back to Survivor Series last year, and I'm glad they brought that up on SmackDown. I talked about that in my review. Thank you for bringing up that continuity. The Usos versus the Bar, really great match. That they had last year. If you remember, it's Survivor Series, the tag team match, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. I remember, the match started off okay, but as it got down to the end and the final sequence between the Bar and the Usos, that was some tremendous stuff right there. And that was only for a couple minutes. You give these guys 10 to 15 minutes, let them go out there, and I think we'll see a stellar tag team match. And we've really been seeing some great tag team matches, whether it's between the Bar and the Shield, or, the Usos and New Day, the Hardy Boys and the Bar, Hardy Boys returning. Like I said, the tag team division has really been on fire as of late, and I think it'll continue that continue in that vein, as I should say, with this match here. As far as the winners, give it to the Usos. Something tells me that the Usos will walk out winning this match. We then have our 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. And I wouldn't be surprised if this main event of the show, due to this, what stakes are on the line for this match. Of course, as we all know, Kurt Angle has to win. He has to lead Team Raw to victory. Otherwise, his job is on the line, and Stephanie McMahon will fire him. So, leading Team Raw to battle is Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H. That's one hell of a team right there. But SmackDown has an equally strong team on paper. It's Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena. An all-star lineup. This is going to be... It has potential to be one of the best 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination matches, just with the talent in there alone. As far as the storylines and the stories that could be told from this match, that's what I'm looking forward to. We're going to see Kurt and Shane go at it. We're going to see, Triple H and Bobby Roode, Triple H and Nakamura, Triple H and Cena. There's just a lot of good combinations that I see coming out of this match. Nakamura and Balor. Nakamura and Cena. There's just a lot of good combinations that could come out of this match. So I'm looking forward to seeing who fights who in this match. Potentially playing in the seats for a Kurt Angle Triple H feud. Does Daniel Bryan get involved? Does he cost Shane McMahon the match? Does he align himself with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who are not on this card? Do they come in and cost SmackDown Live the match? Does Jason Jordan turn heel on his father for him eliminating him from Team Raw? There's a number of different subplots that could play out, and that's what I like. I don't know what's going to happen, and I can't wait to sit back and watch this one happen. So it should be a great match. Last year's Survivor Series elimination match was tremendous. This should certainly be just as good, if not better. And then finally, Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. The match I was hoping we'd get, and the match I'm happy to say we are getting. The reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Just thinking about what type of match that these two could have, what type of classic that these two could have. It could be on the level of Brock Lesnar, CM Punk. I'll go out there and say it. Brock's motivated, and they give them the time, give him 20 minutes. I'd love to see what type of match these two could have, what type of story they could tell. AJ is the underdog. I'm rooting for AJ. I hope he wins, but I think somehow, some way, Brock Lesnar will walk out of this match victorious. But I think AJ will put up one hell of a fight, and like I said, could be one of Brock's best matches in a long, long time. And that's our Survivor Series 2017 card. Like I said, both shows I'm looking forward to. I will be up here tomorrow after Survivor Series, breaking everything down with a live review, so be sure to check it out here on youtube.com/DanielGuyza412 for all my latest thoughts. I will tweet the link out on my Twitter, @DanielGuyza412, so be sure to follow me on there as well. So that is it, guys, for this preview and predictions video. Be sure to leave your comments down below for what you think is going to happen this Saturday night, tonight for NXT TakeOver War Games, and tomorrow, Sunday, for Survivor Series. Enjoy this weekend as fans of wrestling, like I said. And I am out, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night for my live Survivor Series review. Until then, take care.